Okay, let me show you how to set up our webhook helper. When we're setting up make.com automations or scenarios, then we often have to test the automation multiple times as we go. So if we're doing our testing with records that come from Airtable, then we might have to go in to see the record, might have to go to the publishing stage, change the stage of publishing, and then change it back again to manually take a record out of a view, push it back into a view again, and that triggers the webhook to send data. But there's a quicker way. So if we want to be testing data that we're sending to a webhook whilst we're building out an automation in make.com, then we can open another tab in our browser, open another make.com automation, and send data from one automation into the other one. So it sounds complicated, but it's very, very simple. So let me show you how we do that. If you were to build it yourself, you would open a brand new scenario, and I will give you the blueprint for this so you can just upload it yourself. But you would open a new scenario and you would get this HTTP make a request module. So just if we were to do that fresh, then I would right click on the screen to add a module, or I could click on the right hand side of this one and we could type in HTTP at the bottom and we can see all of the actions that relate to this particular module. So we just want to make a request. And so I'll kill this one and just show you how this one is set up, the one I've already set up, because we actually only need one. So I'll click into it. It's very simple. We're going to send data to a webhook URL, and because it's sending data, we're going to post data. So that's the method or the type of HTTP request, type of API request. Because we're sending data out to a webhook URL, we're not asking for data. It's not get, and we're not placing data anywhere in an API. It's post. We're just sending data out. We're going to post it out there. I will show you where to get that URL in just a second. The body type is raw so that we can have content type of JSON. And then we have this data in the bottom. So let me show you where to get that from. I'll just move one tab over. So this is a webhook that I'm testing. And I go to the search bubble to see the data that's already been sent into this webhook. So for example, I could have sent this from Airtable when a record changed view via a webhook, and it goes in to make.com. It's caught by the webhook module in make.com, and this is the bundle that we received. And this option on the right hand side here is very useful to us now. This is one of two data points that we need to grab. We can download the output bundle, which is this content here. We're not going to download it to our machine. We just want to see it. We copy and paste. So we've copied it there. We go back to our helper module and drop it into the request content. So that's the data that we want to send. What we're doing is we're faking data as though it's coming from Airtable, but we're going to be able to send this data with one click rather than going and having to do multiple clicks to change an Airtable status, change the view, and then add the view back in again. So that's one thing that we need to get, and we also need to know where to send it. So from our webhook module, we can click on the module itself, copy address to clipboard, and go back to our HTTP module and paste in there. And we're going to click OK and save. So just to summarize that again, we've got the URL that we're sending to. The method is a post, it's a post type. The body type is raw so that we can then select content type JSON. And we downloaded the packet of data that we want to send or recreate as though it's coming from Airtable. And then we can click OK and save. So if I go back to our automation, just for example, that this is an automation that we're building out then, if I click on the module itself, I could do this two ways. I could click redetermine data structure, and that would be as though we're setting up this webhook for the very first time. We won't do that now. Let's just right click on the module, click run this module only, and it's now in this mode. It's in waiting for data mode. Go back to our other tab. We click run once. So we've just sent this packet of data that we've prepared back into the automation that we're building, and we can see that it's been received. So anytime that we then want to test passing data into our webhook to see how the automation performs, then we can use this webhook helper that once it's set up, it's very, very quick to be able to just click run once and then it goes out. And then just to tidy this up, we have the clock icon here so that we can define how often this runs. And we actually just want to go to this deceptive setting. We're going to click on demand. Now, don't be fooled into thinking that this will run anytime data comes into it, or if you were to use this setting on a different scenario, say on another module, any other module, if you use this setting on demand, it actually just means that it will only run when on demand actually just means that it will only run when you ask it to. So I'll click OK for on demand. Your scenario is scheduled but not active yet. Would you like to activate it now to run as planned? We could activate the scenario. That would be fine. And we'll click save. So we actually don't need it to be active because an on-demand setting will wait for us to run once anyway. So it's ready to go. It's saved. It's there and available to us now. And every time we set up a new automation that we're going to be testing, passing data into a webhook, you would just come in here, update the URL, update the packet of data that you want to send, and then you would be ready to go. Very useful.